any of you went through this, but when I was already several articles and books deep into my research on all-girls schools, I started to seriously doubt my choice for a research project, and I was thinking that it's not current enough, it's not relevant enough, it's not important enough for me to be spending my time on it. It was like 7 stages of writing a research paper. But then when we watched, I was really close to changing my topic until we watched the Amy Cuddy TED Talk last week. And it was a really small part of the presentation that you might not even remember. But there was one part when she mentioned how she's noticed a huge gap in participation between her male and female students in her Harvard Business School classes. I was shocked when I heard this, and while it's really upsetting, it kind of gave me confidence for my research project because I realized that this is really important. This is a huge issue, and this issue of gender biases in education doesn't just end with middle school or high school graduation. Instead, it continues to impact women and men throughout college, throughout graduate school, and ultimately, it can dictate what career they choose. I know this sounds dramatic, and before starting my research, I may have agreed with you that these are very bold claims to be making. However, my research has shown me that there really is a need for more girl-focused education in our society today, and that all-girls schools can fill this need. In an all-girls school, a girl's never not going to raise her hand because she's afraid of what a boy might think of her. She's not going to be overlooked by a teacher who's working harder to engage a distracted boy in the classroom, and she's not going to be overlooked or shortchanged by a teacher who's inadvertently expressing a bias towards boys, especially in subjects like math and science. Instead, she's going to be empowered with images of and ideas of women, of strong women in science, of female leaders in the business world, and she's going to know from day one that she can be whatever she wants to be when she grows up. The numbers that inspire these statistics are startling. For example, only 25% of the people in STEM industries today are women. 25%. It should be 50%. My research has led me to believe that this really is a product of the gender bias that is propagated by our society today, starting in preschool. If you ask a second grader to draw a scientist, chances are they're going to draw a man. And while girls might be outperforming boys in terms of graduation rates and grades, there's still a huge segregation when it comes to the jobs that they ultimately end up having. And Paula England, a sociologist at NYU, recently released a report where she wrote that it's true that girls are outperforming boys in academics, but they seem to be systematically preparing themselves for jobs that pay less. A trend which might explain why, on average, women make 73% of what their male counterparts earn, which doesn't make any sense, 73%. I know that all-girls schools isn't the only way to approach this problem, and that we just need to totally revamp our view on gender biases and stereotypes in our society, but I do believe that they offer a very feasible solution that parents and educators should consider for girls. We spend so much time thinking about the tragic situation of women's education in other parts of the world, which is deserving of our attention. But I also believe that the United States needs to take some time for some introspection and determine how we ourselves are shortchanging our girls and how we could address this problem. Thank you.
Thank you.